Our lesson today is the Marshall Plan speech. It's a speech. The genre is a speech. It's very important to remember that all the time, because whenever we are going to dig deeper in this lesson or analyze it, we have to refer to this genre, which is speech. How to write a speech, how to form a speech. Was the speaker able to attract the attention of his audience or no? Now, it's very important to know about the background. This is 1947. And we're speaking about Europe. What was happening during that time in Europe? Europe was suffering from World War II. And the governments there lacked the funds, the money needed to rehabilitate or rebuild those European countries. So people were sick and starving at that time, and tension was rising among the Soviet Union and the United States. It's a time of chaos, disasters, destruction, but we still have some superpowers, superheroes who are trying to help others. Here we have someone called George Marshall. Who's George Marshall? He was the Secretary of the State. He was a retired five-star general appointed to his position by President Truman. What did this man do? He tried to help in his own way. He gave a speech. He gave a speech to address what was happening in the European countries and was urging people and governments to help those countries. It's very important to know the setting. It was Harvard University during that period of time and in front of huge audience. What happened after his speech? 4 years following the Marshall Plan speech, the US sent billions of dollars in assistance to European nations, helping countries rebuild infrastructure and restore financial institutions. So as I told you, the background is really important. Without the background, you will not be able to analyze the speech well. So one more time, what is the background? It's the 1947, after World War II. We have those European countries suffering from destruction. No money, no infrastructure. People are dying, starving. In the world, we have some people appearing, trying to help. How would they help? For example, we have somebody called George Marshall who gave a speech in front of a huge audience of highly educated people, influential people who would help those countries. Now let's start the speech itself. Remember something, we are studying the speech from an English point of view, not from a historical point of view. We're studying the speech structure and how Marshall was able to convince those people to help the European countries, actually to the Americans to help European countries, and how he succeeded in that. So it's very important in any speech to look at the beginning. So here, how did he start? He said, I need not to tell you, gentlemen, that the world situation is very serious. How did he start? Number one, he started by giving importance to his topic. It's very serious. Before I start, the world situation is very serious. And he's telling them, or he's giving the hint that I am not here to inform you because, of course, you might have known this, but I'm going to clarify it. I'm going to maybe say it or showcase the seriousness of this situation. It's very important to know how this person attracted the attention of the people. Look how he called them. Intelligent people, intelligent people, when you are giving a speech, you need to attract the attention of your audience using words that would suit those audience and would help them interact and pay attention to your words. And of course, they're all intelligent and intellectual people, highly educated, attending Harvard University, whether they're graduates or professors or other people. One more time, he's giving us the word difficulty. Okay? One difficulty is that the problem is one of such enormous complexity that vary mass and so on. What is happening here in those words? He's trying to tell the people that the problem is not that what you know from the press. It's deeper. It's more difficult than what you know. And then he's trying to tell them why he's going to address this problem from his point of view. He's saying that the people of this country, which he means the Americans, might be far from the European countries, so they would not know about the reality of this problem. And also he mentioned the press. How would they not really deliver the situation? And then at the end, it's very important to mention his purpose of this speech. He said to promote peace in the world. So my purpose here is to promote peace in the world. So if we are going to analyze this introduction of his speech, we would say that he used or he was able to pick his words in order to attract his attention. He clarified his purpose behind this speech, which is to promote peace in the world. He's telling us that I am addressing this problem, although you know it, but I feel that, or I have known that you were not fully aware of it because you are distant from the troubled areas and maybe the press did not show it really. Then we go here to the body part of the speech, in which he's going to plan, in which he's going to explain the problem and give us solutions of how to promote peace. Now, in the beginning, I am going to highlight the most important words for you, okay, to be able to understand the whole idea. So number one, requirements of rehabilitation of Europe. He's telling us that it's destructed there, physical loss of life, no infrastructure, destruction of cities, okay? No mines, no factories. It's very difficult for the people to work, no railroads even, in order to move things from one place to the other. So it's really ruined there. And what do we need in order to rehabilitate this or build this? We need the following, and he's going to tell us how. So here in this paragraph, he's telling us exactly about each and everything that is destructed. The cities, the factories, the mines, the railroads, then the problem with the factories. He's telling us also here that this destruction did not only happen from the war itself. Why? Because before the war, they were preparing for it. During the war, they lost a lot, and then now after the war, they're suffering from the destruction. So see how long they've been drained. The countries or the government's resources or the country's resources are drained. The countries are drained, no resources, no infrastructure, no factories. Even if they want to rebuild, they don't have the raw materials. They don't have what they need in order to be able to stand one more time. The economy. He discussed also the economic structure of Europe. It will require much longer time and greater effort than we would expect. So in the first paragraph, he is explaining the problem, okay? And he's also highlighting that we need to have specific requirements related to the problem. Then in this paragraph, he's one more time telling us that the situation is both interesting and serious. He's also explaining about the agriculture and farmers. They had always produced food to exchange with other cities. Now they cannot. The labor, town and city industries, raw materials are not there. One more time, he's elaborating and explaining the destruction that was happening in each and every field in the country. Okay? Economics, agriculture, infrastructure, buildings, the banks, everything, the crops, the food and the fuel. So he would just show us by the end that the governments are facing huge challenges and they cannot do it by themselves. They need what they need: foreign help, foreign money, credits, so they would rebuild their countries. Then he's also elaborating, and then he comes to the remedy here. What's the remedy? The remedy is the medicine, is the plan, is the process. How would he, or how would America help those countries? Okay? The remedy was in breaking the vicious circle and destroying the confidence of the European people in the economic future of their own countries and of Europe as whole. The manufacturer and the farmer throughout wide areas must be able and willing to exchange their products for currencies that would continue value, which is not open to question. And aside of that, we need other possibilities to be able to help those people develop and work. One more time. He's saying that this is important. It is logical that the United States should do whatever it is able to do to assess in the return of normal economic health to the world, without which they can be no political ability and no assured peace. What does he mean here? He's telling the American people that now it's the time for the US to help those European countries without thinking of any gains, just for help, without any interference of political issues. Okay, so he's saying also our policy is directed not against any country, but against hunger, poverty, desperation, and chaos. He's saying that our main aim here to help those countries is very distant, is away from anything related to politics or wars. It's just to help those people overcome poverty, overcome hunger and chaos. What is happening also, any government that is willing to assist in the task of recovery will find full cooperation of the United States. Not only the United States are supposed to help those countries, other countries as well. And then he's referring to the idea that those countries, if they help the European countries, if they need help in the future, USA will also help them. But any other country who would maneuver, like who would not help or try to block the recovery of others, the USA is going to stand for them. So one more time here in this paragraph that starts with the remedy, he's giving us, after explaining the problem, the solutions. What are the solutions? The solutions have to start with USA helping those countries without any political intention, just human intentions. We're helping those people to overcome poverty. We're helping those people as human beings. And of course, he's asking other countries to help with the USA, okay? And those countries who are going to block this assistance or try to maneuver, think of other ways, who would be standing for them? USA. How will this happen? In this paragraph, he speaks about the agreement among the countries of Europe as the requirements of the situation. So he's saying that we need to have an agreement of those European countries. What kind of an agreement? Now here, later, that we need to have this initiative, this help, this assistance must come first from Europe. Okay? Yes, we are going to help them, but they need to help themselves. So yes, USA is going to help those people and other countries are going to help, but we need those European countries to have like a pledge or an agreement, or they have to give us a promise that they will build their countries. They're not going to take the money only. No, we need to see change. We need to see those governments helping their countries. And the program should be a joint one agreed by a number, if not all European nations. So those people need to agree, and those people need to sign an agreement that they're going to do that. And then he concludes. How did he end his speech? He's saying that an essential part of any successful action on the part of the United States is understanding on the part of the Americans, of the character of the problem and the remedies to be applied. So he's like giving or summarizing his speech now. We need to understand the problem, and we need to understand the remedies, the medications, the medicine, the ways to help in order to be applied effectively. And then that political passion and prejudice should have no part in it. No political reasons should interfere in this plan. It's for human beings, helping our brothers and sisters, those people in the European countries, because this is like a responsibility for us. And history has clearly placed upon our country the difficulties I have outlined can and will be overcome. Now we have somehow analyzed and summarized or just tried to understand this speech, and I would really like to refer to the idea of looking at this speech as a problem solution speech. You know, when you have the writing, there is the problem solving writing. When you have a problem, you explain it and then you have solutions. This is the way. It's a very similar structure. So in the beginning, he was addressing those people, telling them that you are intellectual people, you're highly educated. I am not here to tell you something new that you don't know. I am just trying to clarify this problem because you are aware of it, you are distant of it, but of course you know about it. His main purpose here is to promote peace in the world. In his first 2 or 3 paragraphs, he was able to explain the problem. He spoke about each section. If you read in details, you will see that he spoke about the factories, the mines, the cities, the farmers, the economy, the machines, okay? And he spoke about the destruction in details. And then he was able to give us the remedy. What's the remedy? The remedy is that, or the medicine is that we need a plan. What is this plan? The plan is coming from USA. Not only USA is going to help, other countries are going to help. But they need to know that those countries who are going to help will have USA to support them if they need help. But those countries who will stand and who will work as barriers or will hinder the plan of helping those European countries will find America standing and opposing them. Here he said, in order to change and in order to help those European countries, they have to promise first. They have to agree first. They have to pledge first that they are going to improve their countries. Yes, we are going to help them with the money. Yes, we are trying our best, but without them having the intention of helping themselves, nothing would work. And then he ended summarizing what he had mentioned, which is clarifying the problem and the remedies for it. One more time, he also clarified that my reason here, or my purpose here, is not related to any political intentions. I am here to help human beings in Europe. So one more time, we tried to analyze this from an English point of view as a speech. It's up to you to judge whether this speech was a skilled or effective speech or no. But let me just refer to something that after 4 years of this speech, European countries were receiving help from the USA, and they had achieved the plan he planned for or introduced in his speech. That would refer also to the influence of speeches. Influential people who are heard by others should discuss things to help others and assist others.